Yo, what's up? Welcome to the pit, man. Check it out. You've seen this album cover 1,000 times, but what if I told you it's hiding a secret that you never really noticed? Yeah, check it out, okay? Turns out that for metal bands, skulls, snakes, and pentagrams aren't just here to look cool. They're a part of an ancient visual language, and it goes way deeper than you even think. hmm Hey, everyone, and welcome back for Spotify and YouTube. The album cover, it was totally everything. It was the first thing you saw. It was like the visual handshake that set the stage for the band's entire world before you even had heard a single riff. I remember picking out albums just for the fucking album cover. Ugly Kid Joe, good example. Kid fucking running with a fucking M80, trying to stick it up the cat's ass and like that motherfucker. I bought that album just for that. You know what I'm saying, man? So it's important to yeah. So we're going to break it down. We're going to break down 7 of the most legendary album covers in heavy metal to find the hidden messages they've been screaming at us for so long. Okay, Black Sabbath, first on our list. Black Sabbath 1970. Killer shit, okay? You have to start at the beginning. In February 1970, Black Sabbath released their self titled debut, and in doing so, pretty much invented heavy metal. The music was like nothing else. It was dark, it was heavy, and the cover had to match. You know what I mean? You gotta fucking match the vibe, bro. Yep. What you're looking at is this haunting image of a woman in a black cloak standing in front of a 15th century watermill in Oxfordshire, England. For years, nobody knew who she was. Rumors flew that she was a witch or maybe even Ozzy in a fucking cloak. We now know she was a model named Louisia. I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong, but who Livingstone, who was hired just for the shoot. The photographer was a guy who went by Kef. He said he was going for a surreal, unsettling vibe inspired by the painter Rene Magritte. Hey, I'm probably saying that wrong too, but whatever. To get that creepy, unnatural color in the landscape, he used special ultraviolet lighting techniques. The real power of the image isn't just the spooky filter; it is the that makes you feel. It's the perfect visualization of the opening lines from the title track. What is that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me. Yeah. And for anyone who bought the vinyl, okay, the gatefold held another secret. Okay, a giant inverted cross cementing the band's connection to the occult and creating the visual blueprint for metal for decades. This isn't just an album, dude. This isn't just an album cover. It is the birth of a genre's entire fucking look, okay? And I seen this thing one time where Ozzy, who was saying this? Maybe Zach Wild or somebody. I could be wrong. Fuck it. Who cares about him? But this is cool. I guess Ozzy was, he met Aleister Crowley, and he's like, "Oh, who the fuck are you?" And like, "Oh, why, who are you so bored?" And blah, blah, blah. Like Ozzy talks and shit or something or other. And like, he got a fucking song called Aleister Crowley. I don't think Ozzy was even really that much into the occult, but I think he thought it looked cool. But, hey, Ozzy, if you're watching this, man, talk to me, man. Let me know what's up. Because I don't know, dude. It's kind of funny that you didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to know that motherfucker. And you got a song on that motherfucker. Anyway, number 2, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin IV, 1971. Yeah. Next is an album so legendary it didn't even need a title or the band's name on the motherfucking cover. A move their record label called Professional Suicide. What a joke's gay. Of course, we all know it as Led Zeppelin 4. The front cover shows a 19th century painting of an old man with a bundle of sticks that Robert Plant picked up in an antique shop. The band then hugs that painting on the wall of a partially demolished modern building. The contrast was the whole point. The commentary of the old world making way for the new, and a theme that runs through the album's mix of hard rock and folk mysticism. Yeah. But the most iconic symbol is the hit is hidden inside. The gatefold art features a painting of a hermit from the tarot. Jimmy Page, who was deeply into the occult, chose this image himself. In tarot, the hermit represents a search for inner truth, holding up a lantern to guide others. And it's a perfect visual for the album's most famous song, Stairway to Motherfucking Heaven, dog. Hey, with its themes of spiritual quest, Page identified with the figure so much that he even dressed up as a hermit for the band's 1976 film. The song remains the same. Led Zeppelin. Love them guys, man. Very cool. Number 3, we got Dio and Holy Diver. 1983. That was bad singing. Sorry there, Ron James Dio, for murdering your shit. Anyway, not many album covers have stirred up as much controversy as Dio's 1983 debut, Holy Diver. You know what I'm saying? The art is designed to be in your motherfucking face. The band's demonic-looking mascot, Murray, is sweeping a chain of Catholic priests who drowning in an ocean. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just heavy metal all day right there. You know what I'm saying? Ronnie James Dio, what's up, man? Good call on that one. Hey, as you can imagine, the sparks immediate outrage, and people assumed Ronnie James Dio was a Satanist. You know, I don't know why they always think that straight out of the gate, but Dio himself was quick to challenge that in interviews. He would just flip the whole thing around and ask, "How do you know it's not a priest drowning a monster?" You know what I mean? I like how he does that. Hey, the one question changes everything. Suddenly, the priest might not be the victim, and the monster might not be the villain. The symbolism becomes a question of good versus evil, and more importantly, who gets to decide which is which. Is the priest a symbol of corrupt authority, or is Murray a figure of rebellion? Ronnie wanted people to look past the surface, a theme he hit on again and again in his lyrics. And his wife and manager Wendy Dio later explained the cover was a warning against judging a book or a person by its cover. Hey, amen to that, guys. You guys, the Dio's Mr. and Mrs. Dio, rock the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Number 4, we got Metallica Master of Puppets, 1986. I would have been like 6 years old. So no wait, I would have been like 4, I think, when that came out, but I still love it. Master of Puppets is a titan of an album, and its cover art is just as powerful. The design came from a sketch by James Hetfield himself and shows a ghostly set of hands in a bloody red sky, pulling the strings attached to a field of military grave markers, tombstones. The theme couldn't be clearer: manipulation and total loss of control. You got it, James Hetfield. You're the man, bro. You're down picking this sick. The album's lyrics hammer this home for every angle. The title track is about drug addiction, where the drugs are the master. Disposable Heroes is about war, where soldiers are treated like pawns, and the white crosses lined up in perfect rows represents those anonymous soldiers used up and thrown away. And there's a helmet on one cross, dog tags on another. But here's a detail that often gets missed. Look closer at the cemetery. It's completely neglected, with weeds growing everywhere. That's not a random choice. A well-kept cemetery is a symbol of remembrance. An overgrown one is a symbol of being forgotten. The cover's chilling message is that when you give up control to drugs, to war, to anything, you don't just lose your life, you're forgotten completely. Hey, James Hetfield, keep it up. Shout out to me, man, if you hear this shit. Okay, number 5, one of my all-time favorites, Slayer. Rain and Blood. Jesus Christ, 1986, bro. Released the same year as Master of Puppets. Slayer's Rain and Blood came with a completely different kind of statement. Okay, one soaked in chaos and blasphemy. I love that word. The artwork, a grotesque collage by artist Larry Corot, is basically a one-way ticket to hell. Corot was known for his dark political illustrations, and producer Rick Rubin hired him to create something that matched that music terrifying speed and intensity. Rick Rubin, good job. Okay. The result is a sickening, surreal nightmare filled with severed heads, impaled bodies, and demons. At the center of it all, a goat headed figure sits on a throne held up by tormented souls. When the band first saw it, they weren't sure what to think, but as the story goes, when one of them showed it to his mom and she was totally disgusted, they knew they had a winner. Good test right there. I would live by that and say, young kids, if you're listening to this, that's how you get it. That's how you do it. Okay. Ask your mom if she's really fucking freaked out by it. You know you're doing something right. Their label, Columbia Records, was not too excited. It refused to release the album, citing the graphic artwork and especially the controversial lyrics of the opening track, Angel of Death, which is a killer song, which is about a Nazi doctor, Joseph Mengele, whatever. I'm bad with names, okay? The art is meant to be provocative. Quote even hid details in the chaos, like one figure giving a Nazi salute and another wearing a bishop's hat, mocking both political and religious authority. This is an album cover that does its job perfectly. It's extreme confrontational. Yeah, I cannot talk or read today. Oh God. And designed to make you deeply uncomfortable. This makes me feel right at home though when I look at it. Makes me feel all nice and cuddly inside when I look at Slayer Rain and Blood album cover. Oh yeah. Makes me feel so good. Number 6, we got Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, 1986 again. While another bands were going for dark and serious, Iron Maiden turned their album covers into a massive celebration of their own universe, which is the way to do it, man. The art of the 1986's Somewhere in Time is pretty much the greatest game of Where's Waldo in metal history. Absolutely jam-packed with hidden references for diehard fans. You know, keep them busy, bro, is what you do. The whole thing is a futuristic, Blade Runner-inspired city that's a playground of Easter eggs. The clock tower reads 23:58 or 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah, yeah. 2 minutes to midnight. Oh, yeah. A movie theater is showing a Live After Death, their last album. You can spot the Ace High bar, a reference to the song from Power Slave, complete with a Spitfire plane flying by, and the references just keep going. There's a street sign for Acadia calling back to the 22 Acadia Avenue. The Grim Reaper from The Trooper makes a cameo. Iris is falling from the sky, a nod to their single Fight for Icarus. And the band even gets in on the jokes. Bruce Dickinson is holding a brain, referencing a Peace of Mind album. The entire cover is a love letter to the band's own history, rewarding fans who spent hours staring at the vinyl sleeve trying to find every last little secret. Okay, yeah. I like to end on an even number, so that's all we have today. Okay, this is pretty cool stuff right here. So from the birth of metal's dark aesthetic to elaborate inside jokes, it's clear that the art is so much more than just packaging. It's a vital part of the story. Heavy metal artwork is a language on its own. It doesn't just reflect the music, it gives it another layer of meaning, a visual gateway into themes of rebellion, death, and power. These images invite us to look closer, think harder, and connect with music on a level that goes beyond just sound. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What are some of other the albums covers with hidden messages that I should break down next? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss our next episode, okay? Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll smell all you motherfuckers later, and I'll see you in the pit. Peace.